at the unemployment. All right, the most recent unemployment report just came out earlier today, came out at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, right? Or maybe it's the other way around, whatever. But here's what we're looking at. In April, we lost 20.5 million jobs, 14.7% unemployment. Big number. February of 2020, 3.5%. Right? This is an event-based crisis. If the coronavirus had never happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be too busy. I'm out helping people buy and sell homes all day. You wouldn't get to see my smiley face sitting on Zoom or Facebook Live. All right, so what can we tell by looking at these numbers? We can see we very clearly hit the peak and we're well on the way down with unemployment. We know that it's event-based and we know that it is not good. Goldman Sachs is looking pretty good now with their 15% projection. But we'll see. Keep in mind, this still isn't the entire picture. All right, so in order to really understand the current situation, I love calling it the Great Repression. We are repressing the heck out of ourselves. How does that compare against the Great Recession and the Great Depression? All right, so here's a great graph that's going to show this depth and length. All right, so how deep is it going to be? How many people? And how long is it going to be? That's what the science is going to want to know. All right, so when we take a look at the Great Depression, 12 years long, 25% was as deep as it went. A lot of depth and a lot of length. 75% of the country out of business, out of work. Big deal. Here's the Great Recession. 9.9%, 9 years. Here's what Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. I have the key on the top wrong. That's backwards. Goldman Sachs, 15%. That was their projection about 2-3 weeks ago. Now JP Morgan, which is going to come in black, has updated theirs. They're projecting 20%. Remember, that's for the entire year, right? The month of April, the initial month, we're under 15, barely. But that's still, hey, are we going to take some wins at this point? I'm willing to. All right, so what is this graph trying to really show us? There's a lot of people that are impacted by this. It's deep. It's cutting very deeply into the country. But it doesn't have the length. Nobody is projecting this to go for 5, 10, 15 years. It's an event-based issue, not a systemic issue. All right, so the next logical place to go with this is who lost their jobs in what industries. We've covered this somewhat in the last couple episodes. We now have the updated numbers. That being said, this is only updated through April 12th. Right? So this is better than only looking at the first 700,000, but we are not looking at the full picture here. But here is what we're looking at. 38% of the people that are unemployed are servers and bartenders. Okay? Do we think they're coming back to work? Oh yeah, absolutely. Is it going to be instantaneous? No, it's not. Maybe next week, maybe the week after here in California. We don't know. A lot of the restaurants are still in business. They're doing takeout, they're doing delivery, and a lot of the servers and bartenders are actually being rehired. They have been being rehired as drivers to deliver food for the restaurant. Instead of serving it via foot, they're serving it via gas pedal. If we look, keep going on the right, 10% retail. That turned back on today. We'll see a lot more of it over this weekend and into next week. Temporary services or professional services, that's another 10%. We know that those are coming back relatively quickly. 6.8% doctor's offices. We talked about this last week. There are hospitals that are incredibly close to going bankrupt right now because they shut down everything that was not coronavirus. Tell me, how many people have been putting off medical procedures over the last month? A lot. Are they coming back? Are they going to have their teeth cleaned? Are they getting that mammogram? Are they getting the elective surgery? Absolutely. All right, we have arts and entertainment at 6.3%. I don't know. That might not come back as fast. Manufacturing, already back in California starting today. Construction, it's been going, it's coming back. incredibly strongly. Just look at the month's worth of inventory. California is its own unique thing. You can't build a freaking sandcastle without having 6 permits, depending on the beach you're in. Imagine building a house, all right? Childcare. I don't think we really need to go into that, but it's coming back. And if they ask for a raise, I think they're probably going to get it, aren't they? From there, government, right? This is a lot of state, but mainly county, city. They're going to come back, maybe not as rapidly, but they're coming back pretty quickly. Then we have hotels and we have others. Hotels will be a good question. It's really going to depend on the guidance and the guidelines that are put out. All right, so there's a closer look. We've been waiting for this for a couple weeks. Here it is. Is this good news? Let's do some rounding here. 38%, they're coming back. 10%, 10%, 7% coming back. 6.3, 5.8, 5%. I think we're looking pretty good, but it has to happen. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but if action isn't taking place, then action isn't taking place. Dig a little bit further into this. The pie chart on the left, employed, unemployed, 14.7% is the actual number. That means 85.3% of the country is still working. Just a different perspective, glass half empty, glass half full. The one on the right is even more important. 90% of the people that are no longer employed due to this, they think they're coming back to work and they're doing it soon. That means 10% of the people that have lost their job, they don't think they're coming back. The other 9 out of 10, they're ready to get back to work. That's a great sign for everybody. All right, so from there, I'm going to leave you guys with this one. It's a quote from Mark Fleming, chief economist with First American. Housing supply remains at historically low levels, so house price growth is likely to slow, but it is not likely to go negative. All right, so there's your update.